I've got a pretty interesting topic here that I want to talk about. I don't think this is something I've ever talked about before, and it's the kind of augmented fifth sound. So if we're in the key of C, I got to position myself with the Telecaster since it's got single coils in my house, so you don't get a super loud buzz when I'm playing for you. But if we are in the key of C here, if you have an augmented fifth, it just means raising the fifth. So we have the third, fifth, and 1, C, right? It's the most simple kind of triad. So all you do is you raise this fifth. So that's the general sound at its most basic form. And it's fun to move the fifth around. So you can start with a C triad, augmented fifth, you can raise it again. And it's a sound that we've heard a lot. The Beatles used it all the time in Dear Prudence. That sound, that is Dear Prudence. And just to give you some music theory on it, right? We're doing a C triad where you have that fifth, and then you're going to a flat 7, major 6, flat 6, or sharp 5. Flat 6 and sharp 5 are the same thing, but what's most important is the sound of it. And I'll talk about why I think it's special and kind of how to solo over it in a second, but another quick example is the song Sleepwalk. You know? Right? We're going from a C to an A minor to an F minor to a G, and when you go to that F minor, if we play it in this shape here, it's right at the same fret as the C. You can see there's that sharp 5. So it has that kind of sharp 5 sound. And so the way that I think about soloing over the sharp 5 is we have the C major kind of pentatonic, or just the major scale really. And so we have that pentatonic box. Really, I'm just emphasizing or bending up to that note when it comes by. And it has a really beautiful sound. If you know this double stop move, so if we're in the key of C, you have a double stop on the G and the B string, both on the 5th fret, and then you go to the 6th and 7th, and you can slide up a whole scale, a whole note, and then another half step when you get to that augmented sound. And it's all over the place, right? So if you know all of your inversions through the cage system, you can have a C here where the 5th is on top, and then you can just sharp that note. Or if you're down here, instead of doing like a straight up F minor, you can almost play this A flat, G sharp, however you want to think about it, triad, and resolve back to a C. I've been told that's called the chromatic mediant, or a mediant sound. All I know is it works over that augmented flavor, that augmented chord, and it gives a really, really cool vibe. And the feeling that I get most with the sharp 5 kind of sound is a feeling of longing and nostalgia. And like this pseudo Phrygian type of thing. It's almost kind of has this like stereotypical Middle Eastern or like Arabic kind of thing to it. Just because I think there's some half steps that are close to each other. But I think the thing that I'm trying to get across is if you really emphasize that sharp 5 when it comes around, become familiar with where it is on the fretboard, you can squeeze some really beautiful melody lines and lead lines. And it's just one of those tools in your tool bag of playing guitar that can really make your whole vocabulary expand. And so again, C, thinking about either C to F minor if we're in the key of C, or like a C to a flat or G sharp kind of major triad. Either one will kind of get you there. That's my partner. I'll call her back in a second here. I just want to play over this a little bit for you guys and kind of talk through it and give you the sound, right? So I recorded Dear Prudence. There's that augmented thing. So I also added this, you heard that half note bend. That's me bending up to an E flat, which is one of the notes that's in that kind of A flat, G sharp, triad, arpeggio sound. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you focus on either an F minor or a G sharp, A flat triad, you can squeeze out some really cool sounds. And just memorize that relationship pattern, and then you can move it anywhere. And it should be easy because you're in this shape for a C, right? It's in the exact same position. You just change it to this other. You change it to the C shape in the cage system. That helps you guys and is a cool topic. Okay, much love.